Acephysics.org. Hi. Does 1 cubic meter of air at standard temperature and pressure weigh more or less on a humid day compared to a dry day? And remember, a humid day is when there's more water in the air. So maybe you want to pause the video because I'm going to tell the answer right now. Dry air weighs more, and I'll give the explanation at the end of the video. Physics questions. Yeah, it's not a riddle.
It has the same mass?
Well, they're at No, they don't have. The question is which one has more mass, which one weighs more. If it's humid out and you took 1 meter cubed of air, so you take this air right here, whatever a cubic meter is, and you weighed it, and it's humid out. Now let's say it's on a dry day, so it's not humid. You take the same volume of air. Which one of those volumes weighs more, or do they weigh the same? But I'll tell you they don't weigh the same. So,
okay.
All right.
It's the wet one.
Why do you think it's the wet one? You can.
We said we think it's the wet one because it's more dense.
Actually, I think that it's with the more humid, air will weight more because the gravitational forces and mass depends on the humidity, because like more humidity, like more humid air is, the more mass is.
The more. Okay.
No.
And if you want to think about it, that's fine too.
Wet air.
Wet air. Real quickly, what's your name?
Skanda?
And do you study physics here?
Yeah.
Are you a graduate student, a postdoc?
Graduate student.
Graduate student. Okay. Awesome.
It's less, or sorry, increasing the density of water in the air. Yeah, for the same number of particles, it probably, roughly the same number of particles. I guess that it weighs less.
What weighs less?
If it's humid.
Yes. Yes. Makes sense. Got a physicist here. And why? Yes, you know the reason why. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I would say because, a molecule of air, the number of particles in the air in that cubic meter would probably stay roughly the same.
Yes.
The particles generally are going to be either water molecules or nitrogen molecules. Nitrogen N2 is going to be 28. What is it, U?
That's what we're looking for.
16.
Perfect.
I would say when it's humid.
Okay, a lot of people have said that. That's not the right answer. Why did you say that? You can change your answer. If you can come up with reasoning, you can still get it correct.
Okay, so
it's the same temperature, pressure, and volume.
Yes.
You may want to think PV
so
equals
20,
NRT.
it's like 22.4 moles per liter of any gas.
Yes.
So I forgot. I forgot that like water vapor is a gas. I guess.
Okay.
I just thought of liquid for some reason.
So
What do you think?
Yeah, we're going with wet air.
okay, so why don't you say, first of all, I heard your reasoning, and it was good.
Good, not great.
No, very good. Your answer to this question, unfortunately, is wrong. But everything why don't you say everything you said because it was really good. Well, you were the one who kind of was saying it. You had the same temperature, the same pressure,
Yeah.
and so then that leads to the same number of moles. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
But if there's the same number of particles, the answer is water weighs less than N2 or O2.
Oh, you're right. You're
but
right.
everything you said was great.
We're at the same temperature and pressure.
Yes.
Then there's and we have the same volume.
Yes.
There's a fixed number of moles.
This is right.
And so the normal air or whatever is oxygen, nitrogen, crap. But if you have water in it, you have hydrogen there as well. So that means the one with just oxygen, nitrogen, atomic mass.
That is the right answer. That is absolutely the right answer. Good job. Very good. Volume weighs more. Dry. The dry weighs more. Correct. Why is that?
Colder, right? Dry, water.
My name is Will. I am a sophomore in Kirkland House, and I am studying East Asian history.
East Asian history, all right.
So a bit far-flung, but
Okay, have you taken physics before?
I've taken physics in high school. Reasoning behind this, a cubic meter of air when it's humid out would have more water in the air, and I think of water as weighing heavier than air, so I would say that a cubic meter of air on a humid day would weigh more.
Okay. Why is it that dry air weighs more than wet air? The ideal gas law tells us that PV equals nRT, P is pressure, V is volume, N is the number of moles. If you're not familiar with it, you can think of it as the number of molecules within a given volume. R is a constant, T is temperature. This can be rearranged to write N equals PV over RT. And this says that under equivalent conditions of pressure, temperature, and volume, approximately equal quantities of gas molecules are present, and the quantity is independent of the type of molecule. So for example, let's say that we have two boxes here, and these boxes are at they have the same volume, and they're given they're both at standard temperature and pressure, which means they're both at the same pressure and the same temperature. But they'll have roughly the same number of molecules within each one of the box, independent of what type of molecule it is. And this is kind of counterintuitive, and this is an important and cool concept in physics. This is called Avogadro's principle, and what it says is equal volume of gases at the same temperature and pressure contain the same number of molecules. The number of molecules of gas, of ideal non-interacting gas within that volume is the same regardless of what the gas molecules are. If it's hydrogen, if it's oxygen, if it's nitrogen, if it's a water molecule, it doesn't matter. It's roughly the same number of particles. So why is it that on a dry day, the volume weighs less than it does on a hot day? And that's because air is approximately 78% nitrogen, and nitrogen is N2. It's two nitrogen atoms. It's a nitrogen molecule, and 21% oxygen, and oxygen is O2. So on a dry day, there's going to be fewer air molecules within this volume, and on a humid day, there's going to be more water molecules within the volume. But if there's more water molecules within the volume, then that means that the water molecule, and there's the same number of total molecules, the water molecules need to displace, they have to push out one of the nitrogen or oxygen molecules, and water, which is H2O, weighs less than N2 or O2. You can look it up on the periodic table. An application of this to a meteorologist application is that a low pressure system has more water in the air, and it weighs less than the air around it, which has less water in the air. As the wet air rises, because it weighs less, the water vapor within it condenses, forming clouds and often precipitation. So whenever you hear of low pressure systems on the news or on the Weather Channel, the reason there's low pressure systems is because the air has more water in it,